So how do you go from homeless at 19 to actually starting a business? Did you start the business first, or did you find yourself sort of, I'm homeless, I have to do something, so I'm gonna start a business? Like, how did you go from there to starting your own company?
Let me try to recall which homeless bout yours.
Girl, real talk. Let's just be real about it, right?
I always tell people, if you fear homelessness, entrepreneurialism is not for you.
Okay. Hello, and welcome to the Leadership Reality Podcast with your girl, Taiji Charity. This podcast is for C-suite leaders to discuss their experiences and provide insight, encouragement, and inspiration for seasoned and inspiring leaders, offering valuable solutions to today's challenges that will inspire, ignite, and invigorate new and seasoned leaders to walk in their God-given authority with compassion, kindness, and empathy. So sit back, relax, and be prepared to be inspired with today's episode of Leadership Reality. Thank you. Welcome to another episode of Leadership Realities with me, Taiji Charity, where we will be sharing tales from the top. Hold on to your seats because my guest today is a tech superstar. So get ready, y'all. Cassie Betts is the Chief Innovation Officer at the Institute of Maximum Human Potential and founder of Made in South LA. Overcoming homelessness at 19, she built a successful career in fashion, founded the fashion tech company District 2, and later launched Made in South LA, which trains and hires youth and adults in tech skills. Cassie also hosts the podcast Talk Tech to Me and is recognized by Forbes as the woman turning South LA into a startup Superland. As a Chief Innovation Officer, she spearheads the development of tech centers aimed at economic and workforce group in underserved communities worldwide. Cassie, welcome to the show, Tech Queen, Tech Queen, Tech Queen.
Yeah, I sound busy.
You be booked and busy.
Booked and busy.
And I love it. I absolutely love it. Thank you
for
being here.
Thank you for having me.
All things leadership.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me about it. So when did you first notice that you were a leader? Or when did you first start operating or you notice yourself as a leader in a certain role?
You know what? I got to go all the way back to my 6th grade teacher.
Come on, these young leaders. I love it.
Look, teachers, y'all are everything, okay?
I know that's
Mrs.
right.
Dee Dee Robbie, my 6th grade elementary teacher, she, I really give her the credit for, really putting me on that trajectory, because before then, I don't even know if I knew I was smart. I didn't know. I was a C student before her. And then she came along, she taught us how to study. She made it fun. She took us on outings. She made us stand up in front of the class, towards the end of the year, get all dressed up. This is I'm 11, 12 years old. Wow. We all had to stand in front of the class and we wrote a paper on someone we admired. I did Harriet Tubman.
Yes.
I dressed up, you know what I mean? And then we spoke and gave this presentation all about the person we admired. And it literally changed my life.
Really?
That was the day I was like, oh, I could do this. I could speak in front of people. And I remember writing to her on the last day of school, thanking her for that. And I told her I was going to be a leader of Black women. I remember saying that on the letter.
Wow.
And she said, you're going to be a leader of all women, you know?
Girl,
I know.
Don't start the show making me emotional already. Don't you love when people speak life?
Yeah.
Into our young people. That is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Is she still around?
I don't know. I haven't seen her in years.
Are you serious?
I haven't seen her. I've been actually looking for her, trying to reach out to her family and stuff. Yeah, to, just be like, look what I did.
Well,
look what I can do.
The power of the internet. Hopefully she'll even see this episode.
Right.
That is so beautiful. So
Yeah.
tell me about the companies that you built. When did you start working in the tech world? Because you already got all the titles. Tech queen, tech superstar,
Look, I'm a
tech
serial
giant, all of that.
I'm what you call a serial entrepreneur, right?
Okay.
So been an entrepreneur since childhood. Like when Madonna was in, I was making the lace gloves and selling it to all the little neighbors. I've been an entrepreneur since entrepreneur was a vet, right? So tech happened in around 2013. I was in fashion at the time. So did I have my own company? Yes, I had my own company. I was a bridal couture designer. Oh. So, I'm doing my own thing. I had a little office on Rodeo. I'm doing all right.
Not on Rodeo. In Beverly Hills?
In Beverly Hills.
Okay, not rodeo, but rodeo.
Rodeo. Not rodeo. Not rodeo, rodeo.
Okay.
I'm doing all right, And then I just realized the tech space and in fashion, technology was super antiquated. It was like we might as well have been sending, pigeon carriers out because it was just so old. And so I set out to, innovate the fashion space. Yeah. And that's when I created District 2, my first tech company. And yeah, it just went from there. I was like, tech is awesome, amazing. I saw how much money people were making,
yes,
in the tech space. And then my heart, strings started to pull. And I was like, what about everybody else? Like, I'm good.
Yes.
What about everybody else, from these disinvested communities, places where I grew up? I was born in Inglewood, so what about spots like that? And so I just, I became a founding member, along with a woman named Lori Mitchell of Black Women in Technology.
Wow.
And just got into diversity and all things helping our people, you know? And so, yeah, that's
because I feel like tech is ruling the world.
It is.
And people like me who find themselves technically challenged. I got friends like you. I call help.
I was going to say, it's teamwork.
Yes.
Because even those who are the kids are even more. A lot of the kids, the youth that we train in Made in South LA, they're even more sad. They're showing us every day. They're showing me, I feel like I don't know nothing, compared to them when they walk in fresh. But obviously I have a lot to offer them as far as, my experiences. And same with anyone else. So yeah, I think we're all valuable.
Yes. So how do you go from homeless at 19 to actually starting a business? Did you start the business first, or did you find yourself sort of, I'm homeless, I have to do something, so I'm going to start a business? How did you go from there to starting your own company?
Let me try to recall which homeless bout yours.
Girl, real talk. Let's just be real about it, right?
I always tell people, if you fear homelessness, entrepreneurialism is not for you.
Okay, talk about it.
It really is, because as an entrepreneur, you are giving your all. You are giving your everything. You're so passionate about it. And you're literally putting every dollar, you're taking big risks. Yes, just to start a company is a huge risk as an entrepreneur, and you could lose it all. And literally your house too, your house, your car, everything you have. And you have to kind of be okay with that and be like me and my friends, my other entrepreneur friends, we always say the car we have is can I live in this car?
Right, I hear
you. If I lose everything, can I live in this car?
Sleep in this? Are those back seats comfortable?
But to answer your question, 19 homelessness in Hawaii was, I think, the time we're talking about, the first time I was homeless. My father had kicked me out the house. He was abusive, and I just wasn't dealing with the abuse anymore. So that's when that happened. And yeah, actually, it happened after. So as I was on the streets, I was like, all right, there's, even in Hawaii, it seems like paradise and la-di-da, but there's drug dealers, there's gangsters, there's pimps, there's prostitutes. It's really real, you know what I mean? So I had to navigate that setting, these characters, and I realized I'm really good at finding a person who needs something and connecting people. I was just really good at that.
I love that.
You know what I mean? Because it was okay, I don't want to get pimped. I don't want to sell drugs. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What can I do of value that can give me a place to stay or something? Oh, this person needs this. So I just started connecting people and bringing value to the situation. So when you have no money, that's what you have as yourself. As you if you're somebody that just people like, I was always somebody that people liked, and they would just keep me around oh, she cute, she funny, and she brings value, and she's smart. Actually, she's helping me make more money so you can stay. And then I just started to make money, Wow. I think one of the first things I did was I had a production company called, I'm embarrassed to say.
Come on, tell us, girl. Tell us about it.
That's so embarrassing.
We're not going to despise our humble beginnings, okay?
It was called Miss Cassie's Productions. I'm sorry.
Why?
It's embarrassing because it's I don't know. It's just something an 18-year-old would name their company, Miss Cassie's Productions.
Girl, look, when I was younger, I had a business called Tygee's Accessories, where image is everything, okay? Look, the things we do. We're entrepreneurs. We're entrepreneurs. That's all I can say.
We were like children, basically. Literally children, And so, I started to get investments from the local characters of the night, we'll call them,
Good way to
and do
describe it.
shows like concerts, comedy shows, flying like musicians out, and I would produce these shows and get them a return on their money, which now I think about it to this day, like, what if I hadn't gotten them a return?
Wow.
I would have been in big trouble.
Wow. But see, that's the beauty of, I think, entrepreneurship is you're looking at the possibilities and you're playing towards your strength. Like you're a connector, you're a people's person, you're smart, you're thinking outside of the box, but you're connecting all of those dots. That to me is the recipe of an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
But more importantly, you got to be willing to just do it. Because there are so many, the world is filled with people with great ideas and innovative thoughts and all of this, but they're so afraid to step out and just do it.
And they will research to death.
They will.
You know those people just research and research and research, and you be like, sis, when you gonna launch this bad boy? It's never gonna be perfect.
That's true.
It's never gonna be time. It's never gonna be good enough for you to launch. You just have to launch it.
You
Set
have
a
to.
date and put it out. It's not gonna be.
learn as
It's
you
not gonna be
go.
good enough. I'm gonna tell you
Right.
right now. But you just have to put it out, and it's embarrassing. And guess what? Nobody's really looking at you like that. Like, it's like your immediate friends and family see you, but not, 3 million people aren't really seeing the flaw on your website.
Right.
Right. It's okay.
Right. I always say this. There's this comedian. I think his name was Marty. I think that's his name. I can't. Maybe it's not his name, but he would always say when he tells a joke and people don't laugh, didn't find it funny, he's like, "Shut up and clap. You can't do it." And I'm like, "Ooh, that translates.
and
I like
clap.
shut up and clap. You
You
can't
can't
do
do
it."
That's a good one.
So I try to have that mentality sometimes when I'm like trying to do something and I got a lot of critiques and
Right.
No, I don't mind critiques, but the criticism sometimes. I'm like,
the
okay, show me
criticism
how
with
to do it.
no, like, you can you give me
Solutions?
some, right, you just criticizing.
Give me some
There's no
solutions.
creative or constructive
Right.
aspect to
There's
that.
a difference.
Right.
There's a difference.
Be constructive in your criticism.
So look, that is, I mean, just knowing, the reality of just being homeless and then starting your business. How many businesses have you started?
Girl, I don't even know.
Are you
Dozens.
serious?
Dozens. I've had a photography business. I've had a food business. Let's see, multiple tech businesses. I've made hundreds of thousands. I have not broke the $1 million, not for my own business. I've made millions for other businesses, like
Yes.
help them to make millions or raise millions.
Okay.
I've raised millions, but making $1 million like with customers is a little different, than
Yes.
like raising $1 million, which is still
Absolutely.
great. I'm patting myself on the back. Raising
know
$1 million
that's real.
is dope, but making $1 million, with all those customers and the marketing and everything is just like that's my next goal.
Okay.
And I haven't hit that, but I'm pretty happy. I think the highest amount I've made in a year is $300,000, and
Okay.
that was just with a few customers.
Okay.
So that business, that crumbled because someone was stealing from the company, basically.
Oh
So
God.
that I feel like that tends to be why a lot of businesses go down is the internal side of things. You're inside. If y'all don't get along or somebody's stealing or doing something wrong, it's gonna crumble.
Yes.
So it's really important your partners.
So how do you find your partners and how do you safeguard your business from those things happening? Because when we experience those things, we learn from them
Yeah.
so that the next time we're out, we know what not to do. So how do you put that
Yeah.
into practice in avoiding making some of those same mistakes?
I think I'm looking at it like from a software engineer's side of things, right? So like I am a trained full stack developer, right? And everything you build in software and tech, you have a contingency plan where, okay, if this breaks, this is what we do. Like you always have to have a plan on it, not if it breaks, when it breaks. Because
Okay.
actually you launch it knowing that it's going to
You're
break.
gonna have some challenges.
It's gonna have things wrong with it, and then you're gonna reiterate. And so when you go into any system, understanding that, like any business, anything that like there's gonna be some challenges, you're gonna lose people, but if you're ready for it, it doesn't break you so
Right.
bad,
Right.
like when you put all your hopes and dreams into people that may not be there for you or may not be able to do what they said they were gonna do, then it could like I think for me it hurt my soul, you know what I mean?
yes.
Like, and that set me back.
Yes.
So the next time, if God, knock on wood, it doesn't happen again, but if the next time I lose a partner, like I'm ready for it, not only with different, things in place, like, guarding my intellectual property better or like how we set up our structures and systems, But like mentally and emotionally, I'm gonna be okay. Like not like, oh, like it really took me out. Like, you know what I mean? It really took me like, how could this person do this? I really loved working with that person, but it wasn't the right person, you know? And now this current team is like amazing, you know. Just,
how many people do you have on your team?
We have 5 like steady, like that have been on the team for like years, and then we have like this year we're gonna hire about 5 more like new people.
And this is for the Made in South LA?
Yes, Made in South LA. So this is with the boot camps that we do, training youth to do to be engineers. All things tech and multimedia. So
I love that.
Yeah, and then we always have like a bunch of interns that kind of come and go, like youth that, you know, once we train them, they work on a big project, and then, or we get like funding to hire them through the summer or something like that.
Yes. I mean, that's always to go to train them so they can go out and continue to grow and make their mark and build their own legacy in the world. And how long has the company been in existence, the Made in South LA? Made
in South LA, 2014, we started in a Murderers Row in South Central, an area called Murderers Row in South Central LA.
Is that a real?
That's a real area.
Really?
Yeah, it's the corridor, Vermont. It's the Vermont corridor, Vermont and Manchester. There was, or maybe the school's still there, called Soledad Enrichment Action, SEA. So we were on the 2nd floor, and yeah, that's where we started it. Like it was like 5 of us from South LA and started that nonprofit.
So with your current team, do you guys do any type of team building? Like what makes this team a close-knit team? Like how did you build this team to sort of be the team that gets your company growing and expanding?
I don't even know, to be honest with you. I feel like they're extremely, like they believe in me.
That's good.
That's really, I think that's the deciding factor. You know, that's the similar factors between all of them is that they believe in me, and they'll follow me, but they also are bosses in their own right, where they can run their own ship. You know what I mean? I don't have to micromanage, because they're gonna just, at this point, I just can't micromanage. Like you either do it or you don't.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, and I don't know. I feel like everybody's just really happy.
Good.
With what
Culture
we're doing.
is so important.
Yeah.
In a work environment.
Yeah. With what we're doing, you know, just making a difference in people's lives, and like youth, and the you know, the women that we work with, because we work with re-entry justice impacted, foster youth, low income. You know, these are a lot of our students that we're training, and to see them go off, and we had one student raise $250,000 for her own app. You know, like to see this, it's just like, so it definitely, you know, it just, I don't know, it makes you feel all warm and fuzzy inside.
I know that's real. What's the name of her app?
I don't even know. I forgot. I don't know if I ever knew, because it was. But it was like an app to help, and this is what I love too, when they create apps to help others. It was like an app for foster youth, yeah, it was for youth, and it was like an empathy or mental health app. It had to do with mental health. Yeah.
I love that. That is, you know what? That's my happy space, when I know that others are giving back. Like that's just the thing that makes me all warm and fuzzy inside, seeing people help one another, because we're a community, right? And as a community, we're building one another up. Your success is my success. I always say God has enough light for all of his children to shine.
I thank you for that.
And I love seeing.
I thank you for that, because everybody don't feel that way.
This is true. This is true. But it is my happy. I love seeing people shine.
And it shows. Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I just want to know, in terms of this building over the past couple of years and really making an impact in the lives of young people, what's next on your leadership journey? What do you want to see Made in South LA, you know, expand to? What are your goals?
We want to build more tech centers. So we helped to build the Best Buy Teen Tech Center that's in South Central now. And we're looking at land and places throughout the country, throughout the globe. So that's a major, you know, goal, is to build other tech centers. And then
how many do you have now?
Just the one. We just built that one so far, but we have several in progress. You know,
good. Okay.
And yeah, this time having ownership is important. Ownership of the land, the building, That's really important to us, all of us. And
Yes.
that's, I think, also why I have such loyalty from the team is it's not just like, you work for me. It's like, this is our thing.
You're building it together.
Yeah, and we actually have ownership. Like, we all have equity in everything we do. And,
That's good.
yeah, and I'm pretty honest about, like, this is how much money we got, this is how we gonna break the bread, you know?
No, that's right.
I cannot wait to pay everybody, like, what they're worth, you know?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, but that's what's on the agenda moving forward, and then also just making billions with a B. You know, like in tech, you can do that. You know, I think software and technology is a way to scale quickly, fast, and you can actually build billion-dollar products. And I feel like one of these things is gonna break because we done started several tech companies now, and one of these things is gonna break.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's
so. How do you feel about AI? That I'm, sitting here talking with a tech genius. What's your thoughts about AI?
AI is, I think you got to be careful with it. You know, people are concerned, and I always say AI is not going to take your job, but the person who knows AI
Are you sure?
will take your. The person who knows AI will take your job, because AI can't just work without people at this moment. You know what I mean? Like, people have to guide it, lead it, use it, and place it somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like, who wrote your script for today, your questions, or you could have put that in ChatGPT or whatever AI. It'll pop out some ideas, but then a person needs to take it and be like, okay, well, this is Cassie and this is Taiji, and let me change this, that, and the other. Like, I think together, it's just a tool.
Okay.
It's a tool, and if everybody. I think one thing that people fail to realize is we've been using AI for a very long time, decades and decades. Like, even some artists that they get kind of mad because we have an AI animation boot camp coming up.
Oh, nice.
And they're like, some people are upset, like, oh, you guys are cheating, this, that. I'm like, Blender has all types of AI in it. Like, all the animators now use different tools, but you ain't hand sketching every single frame of your animation like we did in 1904, or whenever animation started. Like, you have tools now that make those frames go faster. That is cheating. The original sketch artists are looking at you like, how dare you cheat? They were mad when those tools came, right?
Right.
And so now we're mad because there's another tool, and the people who know the OG tools are mad at the new G tools because they're like, oh, you're cheating. But if the OGs use the new tools, they'll be that much faster.
Okay.
So I really do think we have to adapt. We have to use it. We're going
kind of
to.
Forced to.
Yeah, this podcast right here is going to live on to the year 3033, and they're going to go back, and everybody's going to be using all the AI tools today.
Right.
That
it's going to be an AI image of you and me sitting in a chair.
Right. And when everyone's using it, it's no longer a threat. Like, everybody's driving cars now, but when they first came out, the horse carriages, they were pissed off, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think people also hate when I say it's evolution, but it is. You have to evolve with the next thing, or you will get left behind,
Wow. Yeah, it is a little scary. I know we went to, I think it was some restaurant, and one of the robots brought the food, and I was like, wait. Where's the human person? Like, where's the So those are the kind of things that just makes me a little bit nervous about it, because the human side of people, like, and that's a job for someone. Yeah. And I like being able to tip someone who's providing great customer service, but I'm not about to provide a tip for your robots. We're not doing that.
I remember, thinking that, like, how much do I tip a robot?
We're not doing that. We're just not doing that.
But on the flip side, at the same, like, in the future, all those restaurants that have, like, robot servers will be less, right? So are people going to be willing to pay more for human servers? That's the thing. You want to talk about, oh, we don't have a human servers, but you're going to have to pay the same price you do now and not pay less for all these robotic, quick, things. And that's what you have to realize is the world, if the world is going to still pay for higher prices, then we're good. But we already know what the world is going to do. They're going with the lower prices.
Look, you know what? We can talk about this all day because there is so much for me to learn, because I'm not a tech genius at all. I'm technically challenged in most cases, but I am, I have a 12-year-old. So now I call it, like, Ebony, can you, how do I do this?
Everything. They come out knowing.
It
From
really
birth.
is fascinating.
Yeah.
And then she come and, and now she get a little arrogant with it. Like, here, mommy. Like, I just, like, really, mommy? And I'm like, wait, hold up now. I taught you your ABCs. Don't forget that.
You couldn't even walk before me.
Exactly. So tell me, who are some of the leaders that you admire?
You know, it's interesting, this question, because I was thinking like, oh, I could name, famous people, celebrities, but like, I don't know how they lead, honestly.
Oh, that's good.
I can't tell you, like Oprah, I love what she's doing, but how does she lead? I have no idea, so I have to use people that have led me, and I would say, like, I have some mentors, Renee Moncito.
I know.
You know Renee? I love the way she leads in that she's just extremely supportive, a little bit gangster.
You know what? She's straight to the point.
A little bit like shooter. You be a little stressed out, like, oh, she gonna tell me the truth,
Oh, she gonna tell you the truth.
You be a little stressed. She gonna tell me the truth.
She's gonna tell you.
And I don't want to hear it, And then someone she brought to me, Dolores Brown, who I now work with CEDC. Okay. And Dolores Brown is one of those people, OGs in the real estate game. She's helping me learn about, real estate, land, all the different ways you can acquire properties. And I love her style of just like letting you go, and also uplifting you. Like when she had a press release about these 3 sky rises in Long Beach that CEDC has acquired, and my name was just included. Nice. I was just like, oh my God, like I was just so grateful, just to be seen, and for someone, I've worked behind the scenes for so long and had to fight, all my life I had to fight to get my props, you know what I mean? And the fact that I don't have to fight with her is just, I love that. I love that about her leading style. She doesn't care. She doesn't need the limelight. Yes. She can let others shine. And I try to be the same way. Like, I'm going to let others, like,
because God has provided enough light for all of his children to shine.
When they shining, we shining.
It's bright everywhere.
We don't got to dim our light.
Right. Yeah, okay. You know what? Let me sip on, let me just take a little sip.
We both need a sip.
On that one, because that's an amen all the way. No, that's good. So your leaders are people that you have, that have been hands-on in your life, that's really helping you grow and get to the next level. And you're doing the same thing for the young people that you serve, which is absolutely amazing. So do you follow any trends in leadership? Or you just kind of,
I think I'm like the anti. I don't.
Okay.
Like I think one trend I remember, I've been sitting on a lot of panels with like CEOs in the tech space, and they all talk about like how you're not supposed to get so close with your employees and your staff and everything.
Oh, yeah. Right.
And I can't
relate.
I can't relate.
I've tried.
I haven't even tried.
I've tried.
I don't want to. Like this is like I spend way too much time with these people. This is my family, you know what I mean? Right. Like, and I think that it hasn't, I do hate when I have to like, say like, yo, sis, like this was due Tuesday, it's Thursday, like what you doing? What's going on? You know what I mean? Like, look, can we step it up, Right. I do hate when I have to do that, but people do that to me too. You know what I mean? My employees are like, Cassie, what are we doing? Step it up, Right. Like, that's good. I think we have to do that for each other. But yeah, I cannot not get close or be friends and family with my staff or partners or colleagues. That just doesn't make sense to me.
No, I hear you. And I'm a transparent leader. Like, what you see is what you get. What I'm thinking often you're probably going to know, even if I'm trying my best to tiptoe around not being so direct, because I have a very aggressive voice anyway. And I'm animated. Like, it is what it is. It's part of my personality, and I'm like, I can no longer try to, suppress that. But sometimes that could come off as maybe too aggressive. But I'm like, to know me and to know my heart, you gotta know that I'm not being aggressive. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to be mean. But I am very mission focused. Yeah. Like, I'm mission focused and I'm impact driven. I understand our why. I know why we exist. Yeah. And anything that sort of deviates from why we exist, Taji about to ruffle some feathers, because we here for our young people, period.
Period.
So that's, that's the challenge. But I'm a transparent leader. Like and I'm a servant leader. And being a servant leader can be challenging because you do care. And when you care, you shed a lot of tears. Trust. Because honey, let me tell you, it's the floodgate.
Like they say, let go and let God.
Let go and let God.
Let
like,
go
here you
and
go,
let God.
Here you go. I be casting it on. Here you go, God.
Bring it.
But, so tell us, is there anything else you would just like to share? Any tips or extra nuggets that you would like to share about just being a leader and how Cassie leads?
I would like to say something to women in higher places, right?
Okay.
Because some of my most recent challenges, honestly, have been women, unfortunately, like Black women, in higher, in the C-suite spaces that when I've come in or other young women have come in, younger, I don't know how young I am, because on the flip side, I am older to others.
Right.
But like when you're in a position of power and sister girl comes in, like a lot of times, a few times recently, like people have literally like suppressed me, you know what I mean?
Wow.
Like, and I'm like, I have to fight so much to get here. You know what I mean? So when you fight, I can't tell you the pain on my heart when you fight, and then you get there and there's a Black woman in power and she specifically like on site, like as soon as I came on the Zoom call, I was like, oh, she doesn't like me. You know what I mean? And I knew it from the gate just because, and I knew I wasn't gonna get the contract, and then other people told me I wasn't gonna get the contract. And I've even sent in, so I have a little trick that I don't know if y'all should do this, but
come on,
sometimes, hey, don't hate the player, hate the game, right? So the game is we are in patriarchy, sexism is real, racism is real, right? So I do have a white man and a Black man that I have on my team that I literally send in to close contracts that I couldn't close. And that's how I know that it was because of me, whether I'm a woman, a Black woman, a young woman, I don't know, but they go in with the same exact pitch that I had, put their name on it, and get the contract, and my team does the work. We have done this, literally.
Wow.
Right. So the hardest part has been when it's a man of any color, it's okay, we know sexism is real.
Right.
But when it's a woman and a woman of color, you're just like, sis, like, you don't even understand how hard I fought to get here. You think that, that it was just some easy thing. Right. And then, on the flip side, like for myself, I have to make sure, the younger generation, like these teenagers are making millions of dollars, you know what I mean? So I can't be jealous of, this 16-year-old influencer making millions of dollars because like she is the next generation, you know what I'm saying? Like, and because I'm happy in my life, like I feel like, okay, it makes me happy for her, you know what I mean? Or even like all these kids that I've trained now that are making, hundreds of thousands of dollars, I'm happy in my life because I've done that. I've made this. Yes. So I think we have to focus on our own happiness and uplifting each other more so. And there are a lot because on the flip side, when a Black woman is happy with her life, she will take you to the moon. Yes. You know what I mean? We help each other out.
Absolutely.
Absolutely all day. I have so many mentors, but yes, let's remember to be there, to lift one another up. And it's okay
if we can put a yes on it to open the door, put that yes on it.
You put that yes on it, especially if they're qualified.
Yes. Yes.
Like, don't just look at her and be like, she's not qualified. Because why? Because she's got a mini skirt on. She's just already unqualified for you. She's dressed different. She talks different. She looks different. Like, let's think about that. Don't judge. Don't judge based off as soon as someone walks in the room. Right. Because that happens a lot. Right. Yeah.
Well, that's great insight. And first of all, I apologize that has happened to you, but you are paving the way. You are making the way, and those doors will continue to open. And thank you for the yes that you're giving all the amazing young people that are in your program and the ones that you're investing in. So I want to say thank you on behalf of our young people, and I apologize on behalf of the C-suite leaders that ain't always acting right. But I must tell you, I love your title, Chief Innovation Officer. I like that. I like that a lot. Yes. We gotta bring it to an end. I know, that's exactly how I feel. But it has been amazing talking with you. Thank you so much, Cassie, for sharing your leadership journey. Thank you for just the success. You wear it well. It looks beautiful on you. And my advice is keep shining, sis.
Thank you, girl.
Keep shining. Y'all, that
Appreciate you.
is it. We have to wrap up another episode of Leadership Realities with me, Ty.G. Charity. Thank you so much for joining us today. And remember to do those 3 magical words: like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, I hope that you keep focused on your leadership journey. All right? The best is yet to come. Bye. Bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is our show for today. I hope you were inspired and you gained some valuable nuggets that will help you to become a better leader and to walk in your God-given authority. Bye. Until next time.